Yo, I'm easily fascinated. I'm feeling so creative. It's your boy Stevie, I'm a planet Earth native. I'm enjoying all the moments cause it's such a thrill living. And I'm not sure if you notice, listen up, we're still spinning.
Yo, what the fuck? What is going on? It's literally been 2 months to the day since my last podcast, and that is unacceptable, but it feels good to be back. It's crazy. Too much has happened. And like I always talk about, I'm trying to do everything I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn about everything about myself, learn about what I love to do, make the most out of my life. And this definitely was low on the priorities, but we're back. And it was really hard with the holidays. And whenever you get out of the routine of something, it's really hard to get back into it, especially when I'm doing so many different things. So the holidays came, broke up with my girlfriend, so I'm single. I had to move out, so I was moving a lot. Hence this new little studio. By the way, if you're watching this, I'm definitely going to get some artwork that I take of, because I take a lot of pictures too. I'm into photography, so I would love to get some of my pictures I've made or little edits I've made with like stars around this, make this studio look really cool. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so it's just been a lot to set this whole thing up, to get things going, to keep my YouTube going. I've been really unhealthy with my body. Not that I was treating it poorly, but I just had injuries, and it was just really tough, and there was just so many things I was working on. What else was I doing? Yeah, and it was just setting up the apartment and getting things set up, but also trying to keep my training going, and just too many things on my mind to get this podcast going. But so much has happened and so much I wanted to share, and that's what I love about this podcast, is I get to just kind of keep you updated, because when I watch podcasts, it's fun to see how people are progressing. And this whole channel, this whole podcast has been about me finding what I'm doing and kind of leading by example to try to make the most out of my life. And that's what I've learned the most, and I've learned more since the last time we've spoke, or if I've spoke and you've listened. But one main thing is that everything I do, I try to figure out how I can get better at it. And I have a long list of things that I want to do. Just to rattle off a few, I love video editing. I love taking pictures. I love dunking. I love dancing. I'm trying to learn how to dance. I know that sounds ridiculous, but something I've always loved to do, but I've never actually learned. So I'm just watching some YouTube videos. It's just like hip hop. I freaking love it. I love rapping. I've been doing that more. But as I have my own time now, and I have the whole day to myself, and I have so many things I can do, I kind of have started to learn when I like to do things, or how to go with that inspiration when it hits you, because especially creative things, they come out of nowhere. So it's really fun to try to spark them. That's kind of why I want to get this like studio set up, because I think it would be awesome to kind of have an area that stimulates that energy when I want to do it, because sometimes I have time but I'm not in the mood, but sometimes I can spark the mood. And so yeah, it's been a long learning process of that, and that's what I learned when I don't have to go to work, like when I wake up on the weekends and I could do exactly what I want from the second I wake up. It's really I feel like my energy level, my happiness, everything is at the peak, and it's increasing when I could just go with that energy, when I feel like I need to get things done and I just kind of clean around the house, or I need to get things done and I need to share some energy, share some motivation, share some insights, share some just information I feel like is valuable to myself. I feel like I want to help other people doing it. And one of the big themes about all this is that I love helping people and interacting with people. So I'll get to what the main core of this podcast will probably be, which will be my little career. But so yeah, I started like daily emails, because I noticed I really liked sharing these little nuggets I have when I wake up, and it's like I'm feeling so happy. I just want to share that happiness and share that love for life. So I couldn't get the podcast because there's just too much production, too much setup, and I want to make it look good. That's the other thing, is I don't want to just like do the audio. I want to do a sick video as well, and I want to make it nice. I want my studio to look nice. So all those things kind of held me back and restricted, and that's just my own thing. I know that doesn't really matter. It's more about the content, but I just personally like to do it all the way and make like high quality audio and all those things. So I figured, why not just start a little email list? Obviously, it's good for my website if I ever want to sell something, to have like a list of people, but I don't even care. I have nothing I want to sell anyway. I just want to give everything for free, information, and even like a jump program. But so I started like an email list that's just daily motivational things. It's great for me because I love to wake up and think about it and think about like the mood I'm in, whether I'm a little overwhelmed or I'm feeling great or there's just something I need to remember. For example, if I have like decisions and I'm overwhelmed, I need to remember to maybe make a list that day or just make a little bit of progress or stay disciplined, like make your bed so that way you can start the day with a little bit of discipline and take a cold shower, something like that. Even if you can't really work on a big task, you can do little things that at least fill you with a little bit of that feeling of progress, which I love. So I do that email. It's great. I'm reaching other people. I'm getting good feedback, and it's just something I love to do. And as I was doing that, I was realizing that I love when people respond and they like have questions about it. And I don't think I'm in a place yet to really help people the way I want to, but I definitely think it's great to get started and just doing it. Anyway, I'm just going to get to the point. I keep beating around what I'm saying, but what I've come to realize that I would love to be doing would be being a life coach. So I've started it. I've started working towards getting certifications. I actually got one already, and it just has everything I love. It has interacting with people. It's problem solving. It's creative. You help people, and it has all the things that fill me with energy. So it helps some people find their life purpose, their passion, give them a little direction. And again, that's the part that I feel a little bit like an imposter syndrome, they call it, where I don't feel like I'm really, who am I to really direct somebody with their life? But I do know I've gotten my life to a point that's extreme happiness, like to the max at all times. And it's just so much fun, and I could see where it's going. And I feel like I have gotten to the root of who I am as a person. And that's very valuable. And I've helped a lot of my friends in the past. Like all my friends come to me for those questions, not like bragging or anything, but I have no judgment, and I love those cheesy moments. I don't cringe out. I mean, I used to, but now I feel like it's something that's one of my unique talents, which is I wanted to get into, is that it's so weird to me that some people it feels like if you got to the core of yourself, a lot of people, when they get to what really makes them happy, it has something to do with helping people. But it's very interesting to me that it's helping people in so many different ways. Like some people are obsessed with the ocean and they want to make that beautiful so they can help the life in the ocean, but also have other people enjoy the ocean and things like that. But for me, it's like specifically finding that passion. I think it's because I found mine with dunking and making videos, and it's so fun to create and it's so fun to enjoy my friends and family that I want others to have that part. But I don't really have I think I'm like more creative, and I just really like the interaction with people, and I don't like doing tasks. Some people I'm good at numbers too. Like I'm good at math. Like if I had to pick my strong suit in school, but some people love doing that. Like I get satisfaction out of it, but I get satisfaction out of everything, but I got to pick like the top one. So helping people and interacting with them in person is definitely high up there. Math, I mean, is maybe like 32nd on the list, but I do like it. Like if you give me a good arithmetic and I knock that thing out and I get that solution, and next thing you know, I'm saving $14 every time I go to the grocery store every week. I'm into that. I get energy from that. I don't know where I'm going with that, but you get the point. I love everything, but I got to pick like the top few. Anyway, I love helping people do that, and it's so fun to try to pursue this little career, because the thought of me doing it, which I like to tell people, is like, if you pick a career, when I started like YouTube, I was like, go do whatever you love and make that your career. But I obviously have to be smart about it, and you can't just throw it away. Like there's a balance, but I do think there is a career for everyone that they love. And, even if there's not, you can find a career that you like a lot, and then but it also gives you a really good balance to work on your hobbies. Like for me, I was pursuing video editing because I love doing that so much, but working with other people, and I've worked with clients and things like that, I really don't like working with other people. I actually do like creating a vision for them, but my initial reaction when someone wants me to make a video for them, it has a little bit of restriction. It's not just like free for me to do whatever I want. It's not like my own energy, completely free and pure inspiration or pure, what's the word? It's not just like a pure feeling of all I want to do is create. For them, it feels a little bit like a job. So even if it's like 99% fun, but 1% feels like a job, it's not the same as the life coaching one. The life coaching is like 100%. Like no matter who asks me a question, it's always 100% pure enjoyment for me. So that's beautiful and that's hard to find, but that's why I'm super pumped about it, because every thought about it, every situation, every challenge that comes with it is exciting. So even though video editing is something I love to do, I just made that rapid reboot review, but it was like a hassle because I was like, I had to get the right shots. I want to do it right. And I don't want to, I just wanted to make it really high quality. So when I was doing it and I was getting close to the end and it was coming together, I loved it. Like it was so much fun to do, but I don't know if I'd want to do it as my main thing. Video making and rapping and those type of things, I feel like need to be like purely creative and no restriction whatsoever, or no rules and no boundaries, I guess. It's hard to explain, but that took a long time to kind of figure out which path I should take career-wise, because video editing could be a great career. And when I think of that, and all I'm doing is waking up and editing videos and making like fun things to watch, that's awesome. But then when I actually went that route and did some with clients, I didn't like the pressure of doing it for someone else. It felt like, not that I couldn't do a good job, it just felt, like I said, like a job. I'm trying to think of another way to put it, but it just took a little bit away from the fun factor, I guess. So, and I'm shooting for the moon, going for the 100% fun factor. And like life coaching's not fun. It actually is fun for me, but it's not like going down a water slide fun where it's just pure fun, but it's a pure enjoyment, something that's pure positive for me. There's no any challenge. It doesn't feel like there's boundaries. It's every time I think of helping somebody in that way, I always want to do more. It's like if right now, if I can't get any money from it, I would still want to do it. And I think that's the way to look at it too, is that what job would you be doing that you would do if you didn't make money? See, with video editing, if there was no money involved, I would still do it. But if I look at it compared to life coaching, I would love to do both. But the video editing is something, I guess, would be if I had to make a list of it, it would probably be right behind life coaching or rapping and things like that. It's just the life coaching is number one because it has to do with other people in person and interacting. And I think it's just the one that fills me with the most energy. It's really hard because the other ones do as well. But like video editing, I can go a couple weeks without doing it. But like interacting with people and that need for that, or just I want that more often with the life coaching. So I guess I'm just trying to explain my situation so you could kind of try to find your outlet of like what would make your life the best. And I'm all about sorry, I'm still freaking getting over this sinus infection. I'm all about living life to the fullest. And so that's what's all about. Like, it's so fun for me to achieve that, or not achieve it, but pursue that. It's like it just feels like a never ending goal. And it's also amazing because the closer I get, the better my life gets. It's just like a cycle that works together fucking up. It's amazing. So I love to help other people do that, not only to just give a motivation and let them know that that's possible, but also because there's nothing else going on. It's still spinning. It's like, what the fuck? It's just, it's ridiculous. And then it's also because there's just I just watched One Strange Rock. That's another reason I want to watch this. I want this podcast back up and running once a week at least. One Strange Rock is the recommendation of the week, hosted by Will Smith. It's on Netflix. It's about astronauts and their perspective of Earth because they've lived in space. So they show all these perspectives of looking down on Earth, and you could see how everything's working together, and it looks like one big organism, and there's storms that go, and there's systems, and you see like shooting stars all over the Earth, not like on the Earth, but like around the Earth. So when you're an astronaut and you're looking at that, it makes you really feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, and you're just another rock in the friggin' universe. And so that I could watch those type of shows all day long, listen to those freaking facts of how the solar system's, the edge of it, our own solar system's like 2 trillion miles away or some nuts thing like that. And then the closest star is like 4 light years. What does that even mean, dude? And if we had the fastest ship to get to the closest star, the fastest ship we have, it would take 17,000 years. I'm pretty sure these facts are right. And that's just what? It's just what? It's just, so it's like 17,000 years. How do you even, what the fuck? How do you comprehend that? So those type of things make me be like, what the hell? We can do so much more, or not even more. It's just that we don't even know what's going on. So you might as well just chase that crazy happiness that'll just make your life fun. Because it's like, you're going to just like, I don't know. And it just feels like anybody that has any type of anger or any type of negative, they're held back in some way. Maybe they just don't have the vision to see what they're holding back or why they're doing things. So I love helping people in that way. And where was I going with that? So I love the recommendations. I love sharing videos I like with that. And this podcast is just another way for me to, as an outlet. And it's really been fun to have the emails, to have the little life coaching thing I'm pursuing. Free consultation, by the way. It sounds like medical, but if you want like a free first call to see how it's going, I had a great one with my first client, actually. He had really great questions, and we had it was supposed to be 15 minutes. We ended up talking for 45 minutes, and it was amazing. So that's really awesome. I've been rapping a lot, and I've learned how to mix it a little bit better so it actually sounds good. So I'm just keep chipping away, and when I keep chipping away, I'm have like a couple songs out now, and then like when I'm getting my training back to normal, my knee is healthy, my hamstring's healthy. I want to get into that real quick because I think that was really good insight. Long story short, I hurt my knee in like November, I think it was, from overtraining, too much lifting, too much jumping at the same time. My knee tendon couldn't handle it. I learned when I was rehabbing it that the tendon takes longer to get stronger. So I got super strong and I was jumping, and jumping's like way too much force. But also I got so strong that as I was lifting, my tendon didn't really adapt to it yet. So I was like adding too much weight too fast and also jumping, which is not good. So I stopped doing everything when my knee was hurting. Didn't even do isometrics. Then all I did was isometrics, which is just holding weight on your knee. So you're not like doing any movement. It's just like very low stimulation to help stimulate some recovery. So I couldn't even do that for the first week or two. Then I did some isometrics. Then I played pickup when my knee was feeling good. I started dunking again, but very, very gradual. 1 or 2 dunks a session, like once a week. That was it. Every session was getting a little more aggressive and getting more comfortable on my knee. And then I got greedy, played pickup, jumped off 1 foot doing layups, and it was just way too much force, and my knee killed after that. And then I was really set back because after that, my hamstring tendon, I was trying to work on that, and I think I was aggravating that because the hamstring muscle has been super pulled, like just from single leg deadlifts. One time I overdid it on that, and I've never really addressed that. And so just my tendon and my hamstring was so bad, I couldn't even like stretch it because it was just painful to even stretch. But I was trying to do isometrics on that as well. And then the behind my knee muscle, the popliteus, whatever it's called, popliteus, was acting up as well. So my whole left leg was shot, and I couldn't even rehab my knee properly because doing the body squat, a full, like when I go below parallel, that would act up the behind my knee muscle. But that was what really helped my jumper's knee, patellar tendonitis, recover, was doing like full range of motion. But I couldn't do that because it was acting up other things. So I literally just had to stop. And then I was doing upper body a lot, and I learned that doing my leg lifts for my abs, I was trying to get that six pack, trying to get ripped, boy. I'm pretty much like the most ripped I've ever been. It feels pretty good. Upper body's fun to do, man. It's like instant gratification. So I was doing that just to keep my sanity and like stay off my legs and eat healthy and everything like that. But I was doing leg lifts. I realized I couldn't keep my legs straight. My knees would bend. But when I would force my legs to stay straight, I would feel it in my upper quads and hip flexors a ton. And really listening to my body like over the more recent months, I realized like I should be able to keep my legs straight. And I thought it was a flexibility issue because I have such tight hips and hamstrings, and my legs are so big that I just thought it was flexibility. But it was, after trying to keep my legs straight, I started to realize that my hip flexors felt super weak. And also because I've been talking to Jeff from ATG at the Flexi Bowl, he was telling me that when some muscle is weak, tight, that means another muscle is weak. So since my hamstrings were super tight, I think it was also a factor of my hip flexors being super weak because my hip flexors weren't even able to lift or stretch my hamstrings out properly. So doing that and working on my hip flexors, I immediately felt, not immediately, it took a few weeks, I would notice that after I did a set of abs with my leg lifts, that my hip flexors would feel looser. I could do like a body squat. I wouldn't do it because I was like staying off it, but I would feel like loose, like I would sit into it a lot easier. And I was like, man, I think I was neglecting that muscle so much. And thinking back is like every time I lifted legs, it was always the big movements, big muscle groups, the dominant ones. So I was missing like mini muscles, which are really important. So as soon as I did that, and then I got sick last week after doing the hip flexors really hard and really keeping my legs straight. And then I took a break because I was sick for a week. When I came back, which was on Sunday, which was today's Thursday, on Sunday when I came back, my hamstring felt good. Like I was off my hamstring for a whole week. I didn't go to the gym for a whole week, but the last thing I did was the hip flexor thing or like the upper body, and I've been doing that for like a few weeks. That my hamstring pain is almost completely gone. Like I don't even feel it. I say almost because I don't want to jinx it, but if the range of motion is back, it's basically just like my right leg. I can do leg kicks and it feels great, and everything feels like it's healing and completely healed. And I think it's because my hip flexors, I kind of like unlocked my legs because I'm working those muscles, which got them stronger, which gave them more range of motion, which unlocked all the rest of the stuff. So now everything's feeling good, and I got to do my strength phase, and I started it yesterday, and I feel great. And it's been forever. It's been forever since I've been healthy, and it just feels so good to get my legs feeling good. They're sore from yesterday. I worked out today, and I just did upper body and stretched really hard. And like, but I'm learning like not to stretch too much, meaning I shouldn't be wincing in my face. I shouldn't be straining too hard. Just do a little bit and really be able to relax into it and hold it for a couple minutes, at least a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And it just feels like I can do my strength phase right now. Not right now, but right now. And I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to do some jump squats with like barbell jump squats to do a little bit of a power phase to kind of transition. I call it translation days, where I translate my strength into speed. And then after that, I'm back to dunking. So I'm super pumped. My knee's feeling good. The little popliteus thing was a little tight, but I'm learning a lot about my body. And I feel like now I can start stretching again, because I couldn't even stretch because my leg was so painful. Stretching would aggravate it, but also stretching, I wasn't making progress stretching because it just hurt so bad, and it just was not working. But now, since everything's healthy, I think I can get back to stretching really well, and I know how to stretch now because I learned how to stretch during right at the end of my last strength phase. I learned how to breathe properly and how to really relax, and your muscles have to relax and the right range to use and the right time, how long to do it for. So that's really helpful. And just overall, everything's coming together, and it just takes time. And I love that. I love that ability to kind of share that with you guys and with everybody, because as I do it, I feel like there's no better information than someone trying to do it, so they can show you the insight as it goes. And that's why I want to keep this current, because there's just too much that goes on within a week, and I post way too much. I post so many videos, but that's the other thing, is that I want to keep my YouTube purely for my enjoyment. And I would love to be a YouTuber, but at the same time, it wouldn't be there. Just like I was saying, I go for the friggin' 100 route, like 100%. If I'm relying on it for money, I would love to do it full time. Like I would definitely put my full heart into it, but I just don't even want that mindset, because the second I'm trying to rely on for money, it takes a tiny bit of that fun factor. It becomes a little bit more required than just purely for creating and doing it. But yeah, so I'm more thinking of it as like supplemental now than it's going to be like my end all be all. But my goal is really just make a living doing these things I love, whatever outlet it comes in. And if I'm doing that, I'm living the dream. I wake up and I do whatever I want that I would be doing anyway for no money, yet I'm able to live off that. So that's my goal right now, and I like to share that as well, so you can kind of see the progress, and it'll be so cool when I make it. I said when, not if. You see what I did there? When I make it to just that first milestone, because you can see my whole thought process, and thinking of my whole thought process even just a year or 2 years ago was so radically different that I think it's so helpful to see how I'm kind of like ping-ponging from idea to idea, and how I'm landing at the right one. And I really feel like if I question it all day long, it's like, since that's how my brain is. I can't stop thinking. So when I think about it, I can't settle for anything less than 100%. And I know that might sound nuts, but that's just how I am, and I love it. And it's like, I try this, I try that, but it's you. If you just keep learning from each little thing, you're gonna be jammed on your path, and that's how it feels, and it's going great, and I'm loving it. I think that's pretty much it because I think I got everything off my chest that I wanted to say. Anything else I wrote down? So yeah, if you want to try to get on your path, if you want to live your 100 life, definitely hit me up for the life coaching thing. I would love to talk to all of you. It's free right now, so for a 15-minute, dude, if a million people sign up, I only have 15 minutes, but I got you. And the last thing I would say is that law of Dharma that I read in that 7 Spiritual Laws of Success book. It's basically law of Dharma is your happiest life you can have, and it simply states using your unique talents and helping others. So my unique talents, I think, from my own discovery, is being able to talk forever, being able to listen to people with zero judgment, and not that I have to even try to judgment. It's like nothing surprises me because the world is nuts. Like I already went into that. I'm not going to go back into it. But if you tell me that you want to cut your limbs off, dude, like you tell me something like that, I won't be like, what? I'll be like, yeah, yeah, why not? We don't know, like there's no reason that can't happen. There is no normal, there is no regular. We're all just fucking creatures, literally. So it's nuts. And so like that's running through my head. So like I feel like I have a very good ability to just accept anything, and I have no cringe factor, so I could say whatever I want, and my I don't give a fuck meter is maxed out at all times, which I've been practicing because like there's just times where I want to do things like dance in the gym because the song is so good and I just act like nobody's there. So like I don't give a fuck how it sounds, but I just want to help, and I really truly want to help the people because it makes every part of my life so much better. And I forgot what I was getting at, but oh yeah, my unique talents and compassion. I have strong compassion for people. Even when I just like see people, I want to talk to them, and I love interacting, and I love talking to anybody. And I think I'm good at problem solving. I'm good at coming up with solutions, and I think I'm good at using that creative part of my brain to look at things in different ways. And yeah, I don't know. Those are the friggin' characteristics. You get the point. So find your unique talents, and the way you find them is by doing them and strengthening your give a fuck factor. If you don't give a fuck and you pretend nobody's there, you don't need money and things like that, what would you be doing? And if you had a support system around you, like someone like me, to tell you to go do it, and you had that extra motivation and not worry about what people will think, what would you go do? Would you go save the friggin' ocean, or would you go study grass? I don't fucking know. You get the point. And so find your unique talents or whatever and it's easy for me to know that I talk a lot because I fucking write emails every friggin' day. I make a podcast. I vlog. So that's like something that, and I rap, and those things are all like verbal and expression that I know I'm cool with expressing myself, or it's just a big need that I have. But that came from me doing it so much, So just go do things you enjoy, follow what you love, and you'll do it. And that's it. Fuck it. Let's out, dude. Still spinning. Love you all. I guess this is a podcast. And yeah, that was good. It was good for me to get that off. Anyway, keep it chilling, dude. Spinning it. Keep it up, dude. Love it. All right. See ya. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, you guys are cool. We're almost at whatever. Love you. See ya.